I'm Dean Galusha. Welcome to another edition of Shootin' Plink. Well, we're going to be having another knife throwing video. Kind of winding down though. I'm starting to run towards the end of the models that I've got, and then I'll have to start looking around some, and we'll talk about that later. Right now we're going to talk about one that comes in a little nylon sheath, 3 separate compartments. You can tell I have thrown these quite a bit. They're normally they have a paracord wrap. These are Gill Hibben knives, by the way, made by the United Cutlery people, and they are ones that I would not recommend for a beginner. And in that, we're talking to you folks that are beginners and novices, because that's what Shootin' Plink does. Now, these, like I said, they normally have a paracord wrap. You can see they're all gone. That's because they are so sharp that when I was throwing these, they were slitting them. Because when I had a tight grouping, it slid them off. So I ended up taking them off. Had them fixed up like I did before, where I showed you where I used the Elmer's wood glue and soaked them up good. And I had that, but it still kept slitting them off, just like it was on that other set that I was showing you. Now, as far as throwing them, at 7 feet, I will do a nose spin. I try to do a nose spin with these. These aren't the best in the world, but I'll use them like this, upside down and around that way for a nose spin. For a half spin, I will grab them over on this side and pinch them. Not this side, because you're going to get zapped. So you pinch them right here on a half spin. On down the line at 10 feet, we're going to use this hole again, just like I always do. Pinch it right here. And that will be at a 10 foot full spin throw. And I will use it upside down, just like that. For a 13 feet, I'll bring it up here and I'll feel this right here in the palm of my hand. We'll go over this again. At 16 feet, that's anybody's guess. I move it around and what have you, and we might try it there, and we may do a lot of clanging at that point. So we're going to find out. But like I said, you can tell the points are sharp on them, and the blades are sharp, and that's where you can get hurt. So you want to be real careful on that. Well, we got some storms moving in, as you can tell, the wind's coming, and we're going to get these thrown, and then we're going to come back and talk about it a bit. We'll start off at 7 feet with a nose spin. Got a little bit different setup right here, and I kind of like it a little bit better. I've lowered the target just slightly. It's stacked different, and I got more of a sideboard protection. So let's get this nose spin done at 7. Okay, that was a nose spin. Now we're going to do, at 7 feet, we're going to do a half spin. And I did the nose spin a little bit different than what I told you before, and I'll show you that in a bit. Okay, that was the half spin at 7 feet. Now we're going to move back to 13 feet. No. Now we're going to move back to 10 feet, that is. Okay, that was a full spin at 10 feet. Now we're going to come back to 13 feet. Okay, that's 13 feet. Got those stuck pretty good at the middle, in fact, not bad at all. Now we'll move back to 16 feet, and I just don't know how this is going to work. Okay, that's 16 feet, and I decided to go with a half spin, and I'll show you how I did that without getting cut on that sharp blade. And I grant you. One is quite high, but they all stuck. So let's go talk about these, because I did do things a little bit different than I first showed you. Well, as I said, I did things a little bit different than what I first told you. Some the same, but not all. Now, when I did the no spin up at 7 feet, before I told you I'd do it this way. Well, I decided to do it this way and actually use the tang of it, and it worked a lot better this time. So that's what I did. I was able to stick them pretty good. As far as, we'll lay these down. I only need one to show you. Stay. Anyway, for 10 feet, the full spin that I did at 10 feet, I did do it like I told you, where I used this hole, used it upside down, just like that, and threw it that way. Now, at 13 feet, before I told you I used this, where this sticks right here, no, I actually turned it around. I did it this way, and it worked pretty good. Now, at 16 feet, I did not do a full spin. I did a half spin, and that's what I told you. And what I did, because as I told you before, very, very, very sharp blade, and you can even see some of the nicks that are in it, so it's starting to get a little bit dulled up, but still sharp enough to cut you. So, as far as a half spin, I actually used this right here. Right in here, I took it, I held it like this. I put my thumb right up here, you can see it here, I think. Put my thumb right into that spot, gripped it over here, just like that. That's how I had a hold of it. You see both sides, right at you. I had this, the knife comes around like this, laying right here in the heel of my palm, and then I took it, straightened it out, brought it back, and followed through. That's the important part. You want to follow through. You just won't want to do a limp wrist like this. Now, in that you do a limp wrist, you probably end up with that point right in your hand. You want to follow through and grip it here. Make sure that you do not, when you're going to do a half spin that far away, don't put your hand around here. You will slit your hand. So you want to grab it just like this. Take it and throw. Now, like I said, granted, one was quite high. It was up there a ways. But at least they hit the round. And that's what I wanted to do, and to show you that it can be done. As it says, a half spin at 16 feet. It worked, and that was what we wanted. But as far as the knives for a beginner, again, this is kind of like some of the others I've told you. If you want them for your collection, that's fine. And they're not all inexpensive. I got the full set with the sheath from Bud Cave for $16.98. So that isn't too bad. And you can see they're pretty good, stable knife. I mean, as far as they're I think they're about 8.5 inches. And boy, I'll tell you, that's my low end of favorites. I like, I like about a 10.5 inch knife right in there, but we'll use a 12 inch. In fact, we're going to have a video, well, I've had a video already with a 12 inch, but we're going to have another one. And 12 inch is about my maximum right now. Maybe I'll go a little bit better, but I just happen that I like that 10 to 10.5 inch range, and with a decent weight. This has got a good weight to it, which is good. I think this one weighs in at about, I would say around 7 ounces. I think that's what this is, which is kind of heavy for a knife this size. And as I said, it will stick. It'll stick very good because it's got a good point. But again, this isn't something you're going to want to start with a lot of your different types of throws, because you do have a very sharp blade. You can do like Adam Saladin says, and file this off and make it dull, but you don't want to do that. With these sharp ones, what I've found is I've actually had sticks this way, where you'll have an underspin on it, and it'll come in and it'll just stick because the blade's so sharp. And that's happened too. So until next time, shoot safe and have a great day of plinking.